Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of Real Ball Talk. Happy Monday to everyone. Start of another week. Hope everyone is blessed out there and well. Make sure to smash the like button as you come in. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. You guys already know what it is. But yeah, man, Gino, what you saying, my bro? You good?
Yeah, good man. Just happy to see the end of the Prem. So yeah, we can start again. We can start again. But yeah, man, good boys. I hope you lot are good as well, man.
Yeah, man, no, all good over here. And Rash, how you doing, bro?
Just on the road to recovery, man. But alhamdulillah, gotta be grateful, man's here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, 100%, man, 100%. Every day you get a little bit stronger. So yeah, man. We should have Big Jess on soon. Here he's got a lot to say about Spurs and Harry Kane. I'm sure more specifically. But let's just get straight into it and let's go on to Sergio Aguero. Now, obviously, we know yesterday City won 5-0. They had their title coronation, but the day was all about Aguero. He scored a couple of goals after coming on as a sub, which is funny enough. His City debut, he came on as a sub and scored 2 goals. So he kind of went out the same way he went in. Obviously, they've got a Champions League final next week. But yeah, yesterday was all about Aguero, a true legend, especially for City. So Jalil, I don't know if you want to start me off, man. Aguero, what's his legacy? How are you going to remember him?
Aguero for me, you know, I rate certain players highly. Yeah, Aguero for me is up there with like your Rooney's. Look at the reaction.
Okay.
Look at the reaction. Look at the reaction of these guys, man. Your
I said
Rooney.
nothing. I said
Okay.
nothing.
Okay. I thought I was about to get attacked, especially from Rash. I'm surprised he ain't butting yet.
Nah, Aguero's better than Rooney, though, but yeah.
No, I'm saying I'm bantering. But no, he's up there with the Rooney's, man. Rooney for me was one of the, in my opinion, one of the best strikers in the Prem. You know, done it with a number of goals for United, and I think Aguero just broke that record by 1 yesterday. I mean,
That one,
you know,
yeah, for one club,
Pep,
yeah.
exactly. Pep didn't really need to play him yesterday. Let's be real, but he goes, nah, you're gonna break that record today. I can tell, and it just shows that the guy can still do it at a high level. For me, I know we spoke about Vardy this time last week, you know, being a legend in its own right, or, you know, all this jazz. But this guy's one of the biggest legends you'll ever see in the Prem, you know.
Yeah.
He didn't set the stones in terms of the progression of how City came from, you know, from getting relegated to be a bottom class team to now being one of the best. You can't touch them. Do you know what I mean? But he, with that goal, Aguero, with that goal, has started something different for City fans. And every City fan, I know a few City fans are speaking to him randomly, obviously being attacked, obviously through this channel. You know, I got to reconsider my life choices of joining channels next time. But yeah, like I've had some communication with them, and a lot. Well, I looked at that. I thought I look at the display pic. I'm seeing the tattoos. They got tattoos of Aguero. Like he's literally a legend, not just to City fans, but to a lot of fans in the Prem. As kids growing up, on our days we had Zidane and Ronaldinho. Aguero was that for them, man, and his name will ring bells for a long time, you know. He deserves everything that's coming to him. I hope they win their Champions League as well, man. Let him go out in a bang, man. But yeah, man, he came in the same way. He's leaving the same way he came in. He's a legend, man. He scored 2 goals and 2 very good goals, by the way. I must say, man. So any team that he goes to, he's laughing. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm not saying too much about the guy, man. He's amazing.
Yeah, no, well said. Yeah, Aguero, what a guy. And yeah, it looks like it will be Barcelona, the team he's going to be playing for next year. Before I come on to Rash, big up Falak in the building. Hope you're good, Falak, saying hello, gentlemen. What's good? RJ, Jalil, John is on the right today. Oh, yeah, feels off. What are you saying, Rash?
Change it.
Hey, you can change it for Jalil. Change it. Also, no one cares about City. Let's move on. That's how I used to you. That's was denied. That's why. Still. But yeah, Rash, man. Aguero, Jalil touched on it very nicely there. Paid him great homage. Yeah, man. What more is there to be said about Sergio Aguero?
Not much more, except for that one thing we know is that he's blessed the Premier League with his hunger, desire, his goals, you know, his ability. He's a typical South American player, you know, a problem problem for defenders, fast on the ball. You know what I mean? His goal averages are amazing. Yeah, like he's definitely someone who deserves and will have a statue outside Manchester City Stadium, you know, as their best striker of all time. I think in this era of football, we don't really see strikers like this anymore. You know what I mean? But when you do get a chance to see strikers like this, it's just an honor to actually see it. You know what I mean? Being played, whether it's in person or on your TV screen, you just have to admire the man that is Aguero. At an older age, I wouldn't say old age, but at an older age, to still come on the pitch. You know, like he didn't start yesterday, but he came on anyway, and he managed to bag 2 goals. Quick drop of the shoulder, quick dazzle of the feet for the first goal, and a terrific header for the second one. You know, it just shows what the man's all about. He can score all types of goals. He'll be missed at City, but let's just wait to see who they can get to replace him. Actually, do you know what? I don't think they can replace him. They can just get someone in to fill in that role that he's been doing for years. I think since he's joined, he's been part of 5 trophies for City.
In terms of leagues?
Yeah,
5 leagues,
yeah, 5 leagues for Manchester City and the like. So yeah, man, big up Aguero. He started on a high, finished on a high, and I guess that's just the way you want to go.
Yeah. No, well said. Nah, man, big up Aguero. Yeah, like you said, man, strikers like him are quite rare in this modern day. He's a brilliant player. Obviously, I remember him more for. Obviously, in the last few years, he's become more of an out-and-out goal scorer. But at the beginning, when he first came to City, Aguero could dribble as well. He was very he had a low center of gravity. He was just a pure threat. And yeah, man, no, big up Aguero. Like, in terms of I guess a couple of things. In terms of City, is he their best player ever? And in terms of Premier League strikers, I'm guessing it's probably safe to say he is top 5 all time. What do you guys think about those 2 statements?
What strikers of all time? Premier League strikers.
Premier League, yeah.
Definitely has an argument. I do believe numbers wise, I think he is actually up there.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got Shearer, you've got Aguero, you've got Rooney, probably got Andy Cole.
Henry.
Henry. Yeah, you can't argue with that statement. I mean, he's definitely shown numbers wise that he is, and like you said, he used to dribble with the ball a lot. You know what I mean? You can tell he's aged a little bit, but one thing I remember Aguero being able just to run at you, he was a very similar player to Tevez at the way he would run at a defender. Do you know what I mean? And just terrorize a defender and then bang a goal at the end. And it's always a rocket in the top corner. The first few seasons that he was banging goals, they were all top corners or spectacular. So yeah, man, like I said, he's one of the ones who we've been blessed to observe. Because he's a top quality striker.
Yeah. And yes, and then Jalil, just on that one, do you think he's Man City's best ever player?
Yeah, man, I think everything Ras said was big facts, man, big facts. And best ever player
for City.
Yeah, for City. I'm gonna go with yes. I mean, there's still time for people like KDB. I think Yaya done his thing, but he had probably look. I'm talking when I say best, I'm talking about who's had an impact. For me, Aguero's had the biggest impact I've ever seen on a team. To drag them from there and to be very consistent. There's not been a season where he hasn't been consistent. He might not have got all the goals in that. Do you know what I mean? In terms of top goal scorer and golden boot. Having said that, bro, he's very consistent. As you both reiterated at the beginning, he used to dribble. But bruv, now he does that link-up plays. Like he can play in midfield. He could be like Harry Kane that Harry Kane's been doing. Do you get what I'm saying? He can bring guys into the game, and that's what he's been doing. Do you know what I mean? So best of the player, I'm gonna say yes. You know, not far behind three of my favorite players, you know, David Silva, Torre and KDB. So for me, until I need to reassess it. But I'm gonna go with yes. I'm gonna stick with my gun and say yes. He's the best ever City player. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what it is. Yeah, I think with City, what they've kind of shown is, I remember when Arsenal had that period with like Vieira, Henry, etc. They've shown how your legends should leave the club. I feel like with Arsenal, we let them go too early. Like obviously Vieira, when he left, he wasn't at the pinnacle of what he was, but I still feel like, for example, that season where Eduardo da Silva broke his leg, for example, and we should have won the league. If Vieira was still in and around the team, I don't think we collapse the rest of the season just because he can be like, hey guys, come on, we move, we come back. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think City, if you look at it, right? Aguero's leaving at 33. David Silva left at like 34, 35. Company left at like 34, 35. And same thing with Yaya Toure. Arsenal, Henry left at 29. Vieira left about 29, 30. It was the same thing with all of them. And I think that's something where City have kind of shown the way. Now, obviously, for Arsenal, maybe circumstances were different. That's the times when Arsene Wenger did used to be a bit harsh. But if you guys remember, that's when Arsene Wenger used to say, once you get 30, 1 year contract, no more. Doesn't matter who you are. You get max 1 year. So Arsene Wenger was harsh them times there. But yeah, no. Big up to Aguero. And big up T-Shaw. Hope you're good, my bro. Saying, can you do a video on what you think of the new VAR, how it's messed up football? That's an interesting video, to be fair. Could do a video on VAR. Is there an incident that you have in mind, T-Shaw, that's making you think that? But yeah, man, hope you're good still. But yeah, man, I can't.
I do think over the season there's been many moments where VAR has just actually messed up the game, completely destroyed the game. Whether it's a sleeve, a sleeve ahead of the play, it doesn't seem like you can be level with the defender anymore. For some reason, someone has to be ahead of someone. Do you know what I mean? There's no clear daylight. It's spoiled a lot of people's chances and taken away a lot of points for a lot of teams this season. Definitely needs a conversation.
Yeah, no, that's a great topic of discussion. Big up the Net Post guys in the building. Go subscribe to them. I was with them on Saturday. Great stream as always. Thoughts on Wijnaldum? How much do you rate his Liverpool career? You know what? That's a good point, actually. I didn't even have Wijnaldum on the agenda today, and maybe that kind of sums him up as a player. Very underrated. Hey, what do you might have to say about Wijnaldum?
Yeah, man. Big up the boys, first of all. Big up the boys. A good podcast the other day, man. The Liverpool one, man. Jeez, bro. Like, a lot of facts back there. A lot of facts. And I like what you said about Brendan Rodgers, but I'm gone off topic now. Wijnaldum, very underrated, John. You as soon as you said that, I was like, bang, hit the nail on the head. Very underrated for me. I've been shouting this guy's name out for the longest. And in fact, if we look back at the Champions League games and that, this guy turned it around when Messi was battering them, and then he goes, "Nah, come back to my ends. I'll show you what's good." When Wijnaldum was full front of that, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like he played a very role. So very underrated. And can I just confirm? I'm not sure if you boys know, but is he leaving on a free, or is he someone potentially coming in for him? Do we know?
He's leaving on a free.
Leaving on a free.
Leaving on a free.
Cool. How old is he?
You guys take him at Arsenal? 29? What are you guys saying?
But I'll take him. That work rate is ridiculous. But man just runs. You don't get tired. None of the Liverpool players get tired. I'll take him, and I'll give him Willian's 220.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, you give him 220. What are you saying, Rash? You giving him 220? Yeah.
No. No.
Let me restate that statement because that sounded like a delusional Arsenal fan that we all do. We'll take it for free. Here's 500 a month. Sorry, my bad. I'm just saying, if I was going to do a swap, yes, I will give him that because I know what I'm going to get from the kid. Do you know what I mean? Whereas with Willian, we assumed he was still, fighting fit, but he was poor. However, with Wijnaldum now, he's the business. Sorry, guys, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries.
No, I think Wijnaldum's had a good career at Liverpool. Obviously, a lot of players come from is it Southampton, isn't it? A lot of players come from Southampton. Is it Newcastle?
Newcastle,
yeah. Well, a lot of players they come and they join Liverpool and they have stinkers with them, and they're not really end up being the main part of the main spine of the team. but he's had a lot of energy when he comes on the pitch. He's good with his feet. You know what I mean? He's a good dribbler. He scores your goal, important goals when needed as well. He's a quiet one, as in he doesn't look like someone who is very vocal on the pitch, you know, compared to others. But he's definitely part of their makeup and part of their success that they've had over the last few years. And like Jalil said, you've seen him like say, do you know what? This midfield needs someone who's gonna boss it today, so it's gonna have to be me, and he steps up into the role that he has to do. I do think he's a very underrated player. But at that, I think that is all it is. He's just an underrated player. Is he one of the best? No. Will he do good wherever he goes? Possibly. If he goes to Barca, will he walk into the midfield? Maybe. I mean, maybe he's what they need. Maybe he's not. But at the same time, the fact that they're talking about it, that's good for him. That's good for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think for him personally, going Barca will be a good move. Obviously, on the free, it's still Barcelona at the end of the day. If Messi stays, if Aguero goes there, you have Pedri coming up. You still have Frankie De Jong. I mean, it's still Barcelona in it. So where else could he go? Really, where else could he go? I'm not sure who else is after him, to be honest.
I saw a link to Bayern actually and PSG. I saw on Twitter. It's obviously all talk.
Yeah, PSG.
Okay. I can see at PSG. I can't lie to you.
Yeah.
No, I can't lie. I can see him in a Bayern kit, but maybe because it's close to a Liverpool kit. So I don't know.
I could see him in a Bayern one as well. You know, he's just that perfect workhorse. Workhorse. You know, them German man, they work hard over there. So
trust me.
You know what I'm saying? That's not a bad shout. They're posting, I think he's just seen as a workhorse. His technical ability and feet are quite good. Also plays the number 10 for Netherlands. Yeah, I think his technical ability in terms of his dribbling is underrated. I think obviously at Liverpool he's asked to do a specific job and he carries that out to a T and has done. Obviously he doesn't get the stats, so sometimes he'll get disrespected, probably why he's underrated. Also Inter Milan. That could be a good destination actually. That's a good shout. I could see him at Inter. He could boss in Serie A still. Serie A slow as well.
I'm not going to be disrespectful to the Serie A, but I feel like his ability and how quick he is, he'll just boss. He'll look like a beast over there, man. He wants to call. I want to see Inter. Don't get me wrong. Inter's been doing the business, man. They just want a title. Am I wrong?
Yeah, they did.
I feel like he needs to be, no disrespect, again in a better league.
Okay, that's not disrespectful.
I don't know.
I don't think that is.
Yeah,
man. No, big up.
Again, he does. He's got good feet and he's got a good brain, football brain as well.
Yeah. You know them Dutch guys that get brought up playing proper football, innit?
Total football.
You know what I'm saying? So now big up one out of them. But yeah, man. You know what? Let's move on to the next topic. Let's talk about Spurs. Let's talk about really Harry Kane. What's Big Jess saying, Jalil? Is he on his way?
I ain't heard from the kid. Obviously, he knows he's going to get slaughtered. I tried to suck him in today, no homo, but it didn't work. He escaped. So,
he escaped.
I think he will pop up. We'll be speaking all day about it. You know, I was telling them to save it for the podcast, but he potentially might go up. But we can always come back to this, you know. But yeah, man, let's talk about this, man.
You know what? I'm happy to come back to it because we can always talk about this. We can talk about Pepe. What you guys saying? You want to talk about Mr. Pepe?
We can talk about Pepe.
Let's talk about Pepe, man. I mean, 2 goals yesterday. Our top scorer this season in all competitions. I can't lie. He's looking good at the moment. Still, I can't lie. He's looking much more confident, getting a run of games. You can see the type of play that suits him. He needs space, and when he has it, he's using it really well. So Rash, man, Pepe, is this a sign of things to come for next season, or was this just a flash in the pan?
We can't call it. I think we can't call it a flash in the pan because before he came to Arsenal, he was doing the business. I think he's taken his time to develop into a Premier League footballer. He had it hard because of the price tag. A lot of expectations came with that, and there's a lot of pressure that come with that. I think it affected his decision making on the pitch, which has dramatically improved. I think one of the problems is that he felt he had to be very flair-ish because of the type of player that we, or should I say, the type of price tag that was attached to his name. And now he just seems to have calmed down. He knows what he can do. He knows when he should do it. You don't really see him doing those crazy runs that he's not going to get the ball. Try and take on a million guys, and in reality, there's nowhere to run to. You know what I mean? His football intelligence seems to have picked up a little bit, because one of the things I was saying, that he just seems like a dumb player at the moment with just feet. Do you know what I mean? And he seems to have sorted that out. Whether it's passing and moving, spreading the ball, and knowing when to shoot and where to shoot from. It's always nice to know when a player knows his own ability, and knows what he can do. And it seems like the angles where he's shooting from, the type of runs that he's making are things that he does on the training pitch, so he knows he can do it in the game, and it's becoming quite fruitful for himself and for Arsenal. I don't care that he celebrates when he scores. I don't care that he celebrates when he scores against crap teams. Yeah, like, I don't care about that. Like, you score a goal, celebrate, dude. Do you know what I mean? People's been shiting on your name for a long time, so enjoy it when you're on a high. Enjoy it. He's been Arsenal's standout player, at least for the second half of this season, as he's been given an opportunity. And kudos to him. Banging more goals than Orba, banging more goals than Laka, Martinelli, Saka, the lot of them. And he's doing it with a confidence. Do you know what I mean? He's doing it with a confidence that is seen, and defenders are afraid of him again. And you can see it when he's on the ball. 2-3 guys run towards him, and they still can't get the ball off him. I think it's been a great finish to the season for him.
Yeah, no, well said. I think with Pepe, the key is just to be decisive in whatever you're doing. When he starts dilly-dallying, taking his time, I'm like, but when he's just very direct, knows what he's going to do, and you see the results. And obviously, I guess now the question is, Jalil, Pepe's now in this run of form on the right wing. What do we do? Who starts on the right wing next year, him or Saka? Where does Saka go now?
Very good question. I think he goes on the left. So he goes on the right, in my opinion. Saka goes on the left. And then
Saka on the left.
Yeah, hopefully if Martinelli's up to scratch by that time, he goes up top, in my opinion. But obviously, if not him, then Laka. I think Abba should be third choice striker in terms of performance and what they could bring to the table in terms of the Arteta way of playing, if I'm being totally honest with you. A bit on Pepe, man. I echo everything Rash said. However, I was one of the guys who are very hard on him for a reason. Very hard on him for a reason. Not just, look, I don't want another place to do rubbish, but Pepe was the one I was bigging up at the beginning, and then I was getting slaughtered by a lot of, obviously, Pulse fans, not Arsenal fans, saying all he does is dribble. Yeah, all he does is dribble. He's kind of mastered it. You can think about Floyd Mayweather. He don't knock out guys, but what does he do? He knows how to do the arts. Boxing's an art. I think football's an art, and I feel like Pepe does it very well, and we saw it last season. However, now this is where the negative comes in, and I'm sorry to be the negative guy. If I'm going to rate him over the whole season, he doesn't get more than a 6 for me. Just above standard. Do you know what I mean? Just above average.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at 6.
I mean, is there? If we were to be honest, if we were to go through the list, if we just do 15 players of Arsenal who's been playing week in, week out, does anyone hit a 7 for you other than maybe the debatable Saka, because he kind of carried us a few games? I mean, let's be real, man. We ain't won nothing. We finished 8th. There's nothing to really celebrate. Let's be real. Other than David Luiz leaving the club, there's nothing much to really celebrate. So let's be real here. But if we're looking at performances, and we have to think about every position, Tierney doesn't get it for me because he hasn't been here. But when he's been active. But I'm going off a whole season. I'm assessing you. It's like going to work. If you're absent, how can I pay you? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the whole thing. So with Pepe, I echo everything I said, man. This guy's, for me, he'll probably potentially. I'm saying this now, and he can get clipped. He potentially could be our best player next season because what he's doing now is amazing. However, I keep saying, however, we had no pressure on us. We've got no pressure. We've got nothing to play for. He can express himself. And all these times I kept saying, why does he keep doing the same skill to do it? And you remember we did play ratings, and every time I mark him down and use it all mark him up, he's the only one trying. Trying ain't good enough for me. If it doesn't come off productively, it's not going to work. It's like saying, oh, I'm going to go grab milk, and just because I don't grab the last milk, I did try to get it. You can't rate me.
You haven't got it.
So that's why I keep saying, you guys seem to keep trying. He's been trying. It doesn't do nothing for me. You need to be productive and do the business. Yeah. I'm going to say this. He's going to do the business next year.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I think what you said there is all very fair, and I think if you look at the scheme of the season, I think a 6 is fair. I think you can't give him a 5 because his ending has been too good to give him a 5, and I think a 7 is a bit, 7 is a bit too high because then as soon as anyone gets a 7, you start thinking, oh, okay, it's been a very good season because 8 starts going into great season, and then 9 is just 9s and 10s are very, very rare. But as the post guys are saying, they're saying Bellerin playing behind him can't help. If there was a consistent right back behind him, he'd look better. I also agree with that. I think Chambers is not and should go, but he plays. He helps Pepe. He makes the runs. He creates space for him. For some reason, Bellerin doesn't really like doing that. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's the way he's been told to play. I don't really get it. But anyway, Bellerin looks like he's going to be off this summer. Hopefully we can get a bit of money for him, and then, we want a right back. Apparently that's what Fabrizio Romano's saying. So, hopefully we can get Lamptey or something like that from Brighton, and then we can start to get a proper right hand side formed. But big up Pepe still.
Just want to add on that. Just on the thing where you said, there's no pressure on him to perform. That's why he's been performing quite well. You have to also remember in Europe he was our standout player as well. Out of everyone on the pitch, he was the one who was banging in goals for us in Europe when we were still in the competition as well. So he did it in Europe, and he did it. He was consistent doing it in Europe. I think back-to-back games, and when he got the red card in the Premier League, we played him again in Europe before the suspension kicked in, and he banged goals again. So I think a mental switch happened somewhere in the season where he said, you know what, I've got to work hard and I've got to do what's been asked of me, and from that point on he has. So big up Pepe just for that, you know what I'm saying.
And also just off that, last year as well, when in Europa, he scored those 2 banging free kicks, and after those games he was just scoring goals, and this is when he was playing shit in the Prem but doing the business in Europa. For me, I just don't get the contract. Why you feel like you can take on a man 5 times and do the same tricks, but then in Europe it's like you do something different. It's just confusing. Is the manager telling you to do it? I know Emery was a manager at the time last year. Is he telling you to do it, or what's going on?
Do you know what? It could be the fact that Europeans football suits him more. I mean, if you look where he did flourish when he was with Lille, he was playing against, dead European teams, you know what I'm saying? Whereas I don't care what anyone says, in the Premier League, there's not one game that isn't competitive from the top to the bottom, you know what I mean? And even the small guys are going to give you a hard time. They're going to try to hit you hard, and you know what I mean? Even the guys that are coming up from the championship ain't no joke. Them guys, they play like bare games in a week and they go in hard. It's like a boxing match, and when they come out, it's like they've had a real fight, you know what I mean? So the English style of football and the aggression in it is so different compared to what it is across Europe.
Yeah, definitely. And I think also in Europe, people teams believe in themselves more, so they're less afraid of just saying, let me sit back today and cut off your space. It's more like, let's see if our style can beat your style type of thing. That's more of the European game. That's why you'll see teams like Slavia Prague play a high line against Arsenal, but you're like, your defenders are slow. If you get caught out, you're done. You're not going to catch a Pepe. You're not going to catch a Saka. which is why in the second leg we battered them. We could have battered them in the first leg, but you know what I'm saying. But in the Prem, you know what I'm saying. You get teams like Newcastle, they'll say, "Listen, they're better than us. Let's just put 10 man behind the ball." And people like Pepe, and it's not just Pepe, are not as effective with a lower block with more people to beat. That's not his fault. You know, Salah, similar, Mane, similar. You know, they did a bit more space. Look at Pepe's second goal yesterday. You know, Xhaka wins it back, great tackle, straight to Odegaard, quick pass to Pepe. Now he's got space in front. He's like, oh, I can come inside, smash it. Well, oh, actually, let me be clever and just do a little side. Beautiful finish. That second goal was perfect. That's how you do it.
I was going to ask you about that. Did you see when Xhaka was on? He swapped sides with Partey. So Partey was on the left, which made him open up to take shots. Remember when he was on the right, he just bangs it and it goes high. But whereas all these goals was curling. What do you guys think about that in terms of Xhaka on the right and Partey on the left? It looks weird to me, but it works for some reason.
Yeah, good point.
I think Partey had an okay game yesterday. One of his okay games. Xhaka, when he came on, I like the fact that he was cracking shots again.
He started.
Did he start? Yes. Yeah, well, you know, game back, whatever. Like he's cracking shots. Do you know what I mean? And that's always good to see. But yeah, I did see that little switch, and it did open up a little bit more space. I feel just ahead of him. I don't know. Who is it? Odegaard. Yeah, he exploited that little bit of space ahead of him a lot more as well, which was good. So yeah, I mean, look, Arteta's a tactician. He's one of those managers, and you can see that him and the side guys who he's always talking to, they're always trying to work out what's going on. How can we make this better? You can see it throughout the whole entire game. So if that was his intentions, he's done well.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Big up Katie in the building saying Pepe turn up for the preseason games. I respect the hustle. Yeah, obviously rival fans, that's what they're gonna say. I don't blame them. That's fair enough. I don't blame them. Big up Katie, and Katie, don't forget Champions League final this Saturday. You know what happens if Chelsea win? You're coming on. So, yeah, don't forget, Katie. So I'm hoping you lose. So we don't have to see. I can't lie still. But yeah, man, I hope you're good. And yeah, you know what? Last question before we move on to next topic. And this is also for everyone in the chat. Make sure to smash the like button. £50 million bid comes in for Pepe. Selling him, yes or no?
No.
No, if you got to look and see, okay, and then get who? Ain't no one dumb enough to come to Arsenal right now. I don't think they should sell him.
Okay. You know, it's not even that for me. Like for me, it's like you're starting to see something from the guy that you saw before he came to the club when he was playing in France and that. All these sparks that you'll see that he'll have a dead game, then he'll have a good game. You're starting to see it in a consistent 4-run game. And if he can continue to do that, he can continue to be the guy for me. For me, he's not the guy I'm looking to sell, in my opinion. There's a good 7, 8. I'm pretty sure we're going to do a show on that soon. But there's
we will.
There's a number of
Near Post guys sell him and get Rafinha and Neto. What do you guys think about that? You think Rafinha and Neto are upgrades on Pepe?
Do you know what? Neto had a good burst into the season. But he fell off, and he fell off hard to the point where I don't even hear his name anymore. Wolves can't buy a win. Do you know what I mean? Can't buy a goal. So do you know what I'm trying to say? No, I wouldn't right now.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, Neto potentially, but then Rashford reminded me like he just trips my mind straight away. I ain't heard his name since those run of games since he batted Chelsea and that. His style of play is beautiful. Don't get me wrong and everything. And Rafinha, if we're being real, man, all these guys get the same ratings as Pepe. You know, I think he's even outscored them as well. So let's be real this season. So they've all rang bells, but even though Pepe hasn't been that consistent rang bells towards the end of the season, I know we keep saying no pressure, so obviously you can do the business. But Me, I'll keep Pepe, man, and forget about those two, in my opinion, man. I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Near post guy saying I think Neto's been injured. He's got a good ceiling. But I would like to see him at another team after Wolves before I think he can before I know what type of top level he can play at. Because as we all know, there's top level, but there's different levels to top level. So yeah, let's see. And KD's saying send him in love to the bank. That is one of the greatest sales in history if he pulled that off. Hey, listen, I can't lie, man. We could get 50 million for Pepe if he became on sale. He's still 25 years old. I know he ain't really worked out for him so far, but we could get 50 million in for him. I can't lie, but listen, Pepe's still, yeah.
We might sell a lot of big names due to not being even in a conference. I think the rules were if you're in a conference league, you can have a bigger squad as well. So the squad that we had now, okay, but now
I'm happy we're not in that crap.
Yeah, no, same. Well, I was debating it for a while. Then I realized, nah, I'm not being a laughing stock. Arsenal's already a laughing stock. But then I had to think about something. They said that we would have to sell 7 to 8 players, or send them out on loan or something.
Mm-hmm.
So we saw requirements of a normal team. You know, your Evertons, your West Hams, your Leicester. Well, not Leicester anymore, but those kind of teams because we're not in no Europe, so we're not allowed to have that big squad. We're just going to see a lot of players, big names that we like to see. You know, your Bellevins, your Shakas. Let's go.
Let's see. Yeah, let's wait and see, man. I mean, I think Bellerin will go. Xhaka, I'm not sure, but yeah, I'd rather see Bellerin go than Xhaka, and that sounds crazy, but yeah, I think Bellerin just needs to go. But
I think if anyone's saying they want to go, you gotta let them go, man. If anyone's saying I want to go, get rid of them.
Yeah,
no one ain't gonna play their hardest if they don't want to be here.
I find it incredible that players who aren't good enough for the club are coming out saying I want to leave. Like that's so ironic to me. Like,
it's the guys that are emotional. I believe that these are the guys who are on social media a lot of the times crying about the disrespect that they're getting from people. So get rid of crybabies, man. If they don't know how to switch off their socials and all that stuff, get rid of them anyway.
Wait, who said they want to leave?
I think Xhaka indicated he wants to leave.
Xhaka said he wanted to leave. Bellerin said he wanted to leave.
Willian
said he wanted to leave. Luis is gone.
Leno? Leno's 50-50.
I heard Leno said that he's open to leaving as well.
Get rid of Leno and get Martinez back in because Martinez, this is his boyhood club. Remember, he's been here for like.
Getting back now, bro.
We love him getting back.
If Martinez came back, he'll be coming back on some mad crud. Like, yeah, told you, man, I want big money. Yeah, what you know about me?
We have to give him that 220k Jalil wants to give to Wijnaldum still. I can't
Trust me, Martinez will be coming back like Mark Morrison. Do you know what I say? Kicking indoors and that.
Hey, return him back. What tune that was. Hey, what tune.
He deserves it from what? What was he on? 20k his whole career at Arsenal.
Yeah.
He deserves to be at least on. I know he's on at the moment. He's on like 60k or something.
Something like that. Yeah, I think it was 60. They upped him to.
If we come back, I'd say we give him 80k a month, man. Or was it a week? Well, how did they do it? Is it a week or a month?
80k a week, yeah.
A week.
A week?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I never broke my ankle, man. I would have been a football player by now. No,
Hey,
that old chestnut.
Hey, KD saying, "Oh yeah, you're not in confidence, so if you don't make top 4, it's failure." Yeah, 100%. But you know what, KD? You're lucky today. We're not going to talk on your guys because low-key Chelsea becoming some real bottle jobs. You guys got lucky yesterday that Spurs helped you out because you guys bottled that game against Aston Villa. I can't lie.
They might not have been playing Champions League at all.
Exactly. So yeah, man, KD, you need to look at your guys still. They're letting you down at the moment. But yeah, you know what? Let's get into it, man. If Big Jess turns up, hopefully he'll get a platform to say what he needs to say. But yeah, man, Leicester 2, Tottenham 4. I thought Leicester had it in the bag, and then Schmeichel punched one in the net, which I couldn't believe, and then Harry Kane gets away with handball, and Bale scores, and then after that, Leicester just choked it away. But yeah, man, I guess let's focus on Harry Kane, Golden Boot winner, winner of this new award now, for the most assists as well. you know, so which obviously looks fantastic and is a great achievement. And he has had a brilliant season. So I guess now he's made it clear he wants to leave. He let it out last week. He's done an interview with Gary Neville since then. So he's really, really making it clear he wants out. So I guess I'll come to you first, Rash. Like Harry Kane, where do you think he should go? And where do you think he will go?
Okay. Well, one thing I did say at the beginning of the season that he will go. And I said that. I said, Kane, this is his last season at Tottenham. Yeah. Inside scoop. And at the end of the season, we're now coming to see that his PR management is up there. He's trying to sell himself on TV, letting them know that I want to be out. Anyone who wants me, come and get me. So where does Kane suit? Well, Kane can walk into any club in England. Yeah, he can walk into a Man United squad. He can walk into a Chelsea squad. He could walk into a
City squad.
He could walk into even a Liverpool squad. Yeah, because Firmino ain't doing the numbers that he's doing. Yeah, and he isn't doing the assists that Kane is doing. I mean, Kane got 14 assists this season, got 23 goals. That's some serious stats for a guy who, you know, is not very good at moving. You know what I'm saying? So I think I could. I've been saying it for a few seasons that he would suit a Manchester United. To me, I think that would be one of his number one places to go if he, out of all the English clubs, especially the fact that him and Neville's are best friends now all of a sudden. So yeah, I think he may go to Man United. I do. Can I see him doing the job at City? Yeah, I think I can see him doing a job at City, especially with the boys running ahead of him. The wingers, the right winger and the left wingers. You got the Mahrez, you got the Sterlings. You've also got the playmakers around him, the Gundogan. You got the Foden. Do you know what I mean? And Gundogan as well. This amazing season as well. He finished up on 13 goals. This season as well, having a player like him behind you, a KDB to slip in those balls or play in those balls that Kane loves to get. You know what I mean? He could do a job there with Aguero going with City with big money. Would they go for him? Possibly. I mean, but are they trying to invest in a long-term thing by going for an Mbappe or Haaland? That's the other question. I think City are the ones who will be in control of the decision of who they get because they are the Premier League winners. But if I was Kane, I would definitely be heading somewhere in Manchester.
Okay. So obviously Kane said he wants to stay in England. He's got no interest in going abroad. So Liverpool don't want him at the moment. So it's between City, United, and Chelsea. So yeah, I think Manchester would be ideal. If him going to Chelsea, that would be my personal favorite because it'll be so funny to see him go to Chelsea and absolutely destroy everything he's done at Spurs. Like that would be hilarious. That's what I want to see happen. I don't think Spurs will sell him, but to Chelsea. So I think he will go to one of the Manchester clubs. And I think Rash makes up a great point. Is he the type of profile of player City would go for, or would they go for a younger player? Now, obviously, the battle for Haaland next year is going to be crazy. I don't know if you guys saw the news today, but Hazard's been put up for sale at Madrid, and so's Bale. I mean, Bale's been up for sale for like 2 years, but I think this year he will actually go because he actually played well yesterday as well. But yeah, Hazard is also up for sale. God knows who's going to buy him. Maybe PSG because they like to get stars. So maybe they'll get him there, and then him, Mbappe, and Neymar can just walk around in the French league. Maybe that's what they can do. I don't see any serious team buying Hazard right now because he needs to prove himself and lose weight. So I don't see Madrid getting any real money for him, to be honest. Max, 30, 40 mil? Can you see anyone pay more than that for Hazard?
If you're lucky, man. If you're lucky.
Max.
They'd literally be if they buy him for those sort of prices, they'd literally be buying him because of his career at Chelsea.
Yeah. Nothing to do at Madrid. Not in
Mm.
fact, you probably want to remove that part and just erase it like it never happened. But yeah, let's see what happens with that. Mr. PK, yes, bro, good to see you. Saying, yo, what's going on? Can't see City going for Kane, to be honest. One, because of his age, and two, because of the price tag. Although City spend a lot of money, they never spend big on one player. Yeah, that's true. City's max transfers, I think, is about 65 million.
I think so.
So yeah, and Kane's going to be a minimum of 100 million. So yeah. What do you think, Jalil? Obviously, Rash has said that he thinks it's likely that he'll go to either United or City. What do you think? Do you agree, or do you think Chelsea have a sneaky chance of somehow getting him or on them?
The only one that makes sense to me is Chelsea. Only one that makes sense to me. Only one, because Giroud's going and Tuchel doesn't fancy Tammy. So what does that leave you with? Only Werner. Can you rely on the kid? Not really. Harry Kane come in, so you got an option, and we got to be real. Something similar to Aubameyang. Werner's good on the left. Leave him there, for games, and let Kane be your number one striker. And that's what's going to happen. Like, I see that happening. Like Mr. PK said, I can't see him going to City, man. It don't make sense to me. Plus, City can play without a striker. We've seen it, and it's silly, but they still do the business. I dare say, I feel like they play better without a number one striker, because they've got more midfielders to do the business and pop it around. Do you know what I mean? United just got Cavani, didn't they? They got that young kid that just come through the ranks who got that goal. He scored a header. He's quite neat, that kid, man. For United.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
And they still believe. They still believe in Martial and Rashford and that. So can't see him going there. I can't see.
Can I just say I did read that they are looking to sell Martial this summer.
That's what as well. And I think they should. I think for both parties, it's the right time to part ways.
Okay. Yeah, so that I didn't know that. But, having said that, I still feel like they're not going to go for him. I think Sancho's still on their number one hit list. But then I'm seeing that Liverpool are now interested in Sancho. So that's on Sky as well. So you're seeing what's going on there. People are interested. And we all know Sancho said, I'm going Germany for a couple of years. I'll be back. He's definitely coming back to the UK in the summer. We know that. After the Euros, he said, I'm parking now for, for the foreseeable future. Going back to Kane and that, man, I just feel like he makes sense. He fits into Tuchel's plans. He looks the part, and it just makes sense. And look, you got to look at footballers sometimes and stuff like that. Sometimes they don't want to move gaff. You can stay in London, do you know what I mean? You can still live in, wherever he lives in Hertfordshire. I don't know where he lives, but you can still be local. You don't have to move away with your family out there and that, And I'll be honest with you, I spoke to this is why I wanted Jesse to come on the show, and it's a bit sad that he didn't, but with him, he'll tell you if Harry goes to Chelsea, you won't be that upset, man. You love a player, you want to see him better. So he doesn't.
I think Jesse did say if he goes to Chelsea, he's a bit of a see you next Tuesday, no? I think he did say something like that. I think he said anywhere, but I think he said anywhere but Chelsea. Obviously, not Arsenal.
It makes it more juicy then. I would like him to definitely go to Chelsea now.
I want him to go to Chelsea.
It would be fun to see.
But
now, let me ask you guys this: is the obvious? The answer might be obvious, but what out of those three teams, what is the scariest one to go to? I'm guessing it's City, where you'd be like, "Ooh, this team is clear now."
I'll say United. I'll say United would be scary, just because we're saying they get Sancho. They've got Pogba and they've got Bruno. I know Bruno hasn't really been the guy, but this guy still puts in decent half balls. Do you know what I mean? I think they'll be scary because they will look the part, man. And looking to spend big in it. So, just before Rash goes, can I just touch on something with Hazard quickly? Hazard's worth more than 40 mil, man. What you were saying, bro? I'll be honest, bro. You got to remember, players don't. All right, Rash, slow down, fucking.
Sorry, mate.
No, but what I'm saying is, you got to remember, players don't just get sold on ability and stuff. it is also their name, and Hazard's got a stupid name in the industry.
Mm.
He goes to your club, he's making your 100 million shirts, guaranteed. Goes to Italy, goes to Inter Milan, he's making your 100k straight. Juventus, all this, they indulge in their shirts. Like we wear their shirts, Inter Milan shirts, and like Juventus. So if Hazard goes to any club, they are making them money. He's definitely worth more than 40 mil. I think we should put a bit more respect on the kid.
You know what? Yeah, you actually just gave me a thought. One of the teams I'd like to actually see Hazard go to is AC Milan. I wouldn't mind him going there. You know, Serie A.
AC
Slowly.
Milan have got they just got back into the Champions League.
Exactly.
They got a young team, probably the youngest team actually in the Champions League. I think they said that got through this year.
Yeah, you got a young team, so
Those ones.
A very young team. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah, that would be interesting because he'll be like a daddy over there. Maybe it will force him to have to perform.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I need to see it. I'll make my final judgment on Hazard when I see him at the Euros this summer. When I see him at the Euros for Belgium, I'll know whether this guy's retired or not. Because if he turns out for Belgium, then Madrid fans will probably be even more angry. I can't lie. I mean, they already hate him. They can't stand him already. But yeah,
Even saying, sorry, just before we read that, even saying that, did you guys hear that no Real Madrid players have been elected to the Spanish squad? Not even Ramos. So Ramos fought to get back from injury very quick to get to the squad. Not one Real Madrid player has made it to the Spanish squad. First time ever, they've said. That's mad.
That's incredible. Yeah, that's incredible.
But you got to have a look at their squad as well and be like, okay, which Spanish player do they have that is going to make the squad?
Exactly. Yeah. Think about it. They got Sergio. Ain't done anything for like 2-3 years, really, has he?
Not since his name popped off back in the day. Yeah.
Exactly. Isco's bigger than Hazard. So yeah, man. I don't know. Yeah, Madrid. Yeah, they don't. And Carvajal, I guess, but I think he might be injured. I don't know, man. I don't know. It is interesting. Tottenham say they won't deal with Chelsea, but let's see when the money's on the table. I think United is the best fit for him.
Back to that question, yeah. Back to that question of where is he most scary to be, and I think you know what, I agree with Jalil. Not because Man United are a scary team, but because of what it actually means. You know what I mean? It shows their clear intent. You know, they've managed to finish. What did they finish? They finished second. Second this season. And I remember when Man United bought Robin van Persie, and it just had clear intent of what they was looking to do the following season, and what the mentality that does for a squad, bringing in a goal killer into the team, what it does all of a sudden to your opponent. Do you know what I mean? When they know that spearheading that line is a serious goal killer. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got playmakers around them. It's a scary sight because you think, all right, United can't be considered the joke club that they've been considered for the last 5, 6, 7 years. Do you know what I mean? Now it shows that, okay, forget their manager. They've got superstars in their team. And if they get Harry Kane, a guy who has so many golden boots, a guy who picked up the top assists for the season this year, then to go to United, who, to me, overachieved this season without even playing the best football. Imagine if they start clicking the way that we know those players can click, you know, and the cogs start moving in that direction, and Cavani coming off the bench as well to banging goals. You still got Rashford, who's, you know, even though I think like he didn't have a really good season this season, the boy's got bags of ability. Do you know what I mean? And he's still young. What's he, 23? So he's still gonna get better after the Euros. Like, who knows what sort of form he's gonna be in as well. I just think it just shows a clear message to the rest of the Premier League that United aren't something to joke about anymore. You know what I mean? And that's what's scary, because man's been joking at United for a couple seasons now. You know what I mean? So yeah, that is scary. It's a scary sight, him in that devil top still.
Yeah. KD saying, why would you want Kane to go to one of your rivals and make them a monster Premier League team? That will just widen the gap between us. I'm guessing he's referring to if he goes to City. I mean, let's be honest. Wherever Kane's going to go, it's going to be a bit of a game-changing move. I think the Van Persie comparison is actually a fair one because, with Van Persie, he went to United and won the league. If he went to City, like he also could have done, they would have won the league. They would have gone back-to-back. They would have had Aguero and Van Persie up front. That's almost unimaginable to me. That's
scary.
That's scary. In their primes, that's just frightening. With David Silva, Yaya Toure behind them, that would have been mad. It doesn't even sound right saying it, I can't lie. But you know what? It's mad because even if Van Persie had stayed at Arsenal, we could have done all right that season because we signed Cazorla. You know what I'm saying? So obviously he left. I have zero resentment against Van Persie. But yeah, it could have been different. Liverpool should be in the convo for Kane. They should be, but you're not. Like your owners, I don't think they really like to spend like that. But I mean, if you had an asset you could sell, maybe if you could sell money, maybe you could find the move for Kane. But yeah, I don't know. It's Liverpool have not really been mentioned with Harry Kane at all. So yeah, I think they're all just focusing on getting their centre backs back. To be honest, for next season.
Harry Kane and Liverpool, bro, they will not understand the word he's saying, and their scouts as well. It'll be a funny conversation to have. Like, big up Kane.
Big up Kane still. Hey, yeah, man. But I guess you know what? Just wrapping up very, very quickly. Obviously, Liverpool won 2-0 against Palace to secure top 3, let alone top 4. So I think we're known by some as a Liverpool hating channel. So let's big them up. Trent's playing well. Thiago's really been in good form the last month, been superb. Van Dijk's back next year. Just quick words on Liverpool and Klopp. Like, how big of an achievement was it for Klopp to make top 4 in the end?
I said this a couple of shows ago when I was saying this. I was saying this. God knows Liverpool will get top 3, and then Rash was like, nope. I'm telling you, they're coming back. They get top 3. You go, nope. Then you're off. I'm thinking, bro, trust me, it's a blip in the system. They've got.
I was with Rash. I can't lie. I was with Rash.
It was funny, and I was just in my head. I was thinking, Bob, can't you see? Like Trent's had a bad season. Yes, he hasn't had the best season. They haven't had no defenders, but they're still a machine with Klopp. Klopp is a fantastic manager, Bob. He will get the best out. Yes, they got beaten at the Klopp like 6 times in a row, and Anfield like 6 times in a row. But I'm telling you, when I'm telling you, they don't need these players, Bob. Just wait for him to go. Wait for Thiago to find his feet. He did. He's been one of their best players. Wait for the fullbacks to get back into their position, and they're still going to play the same ball, and they're doing the same shit, and they're still scoring the same way. It works. It works against certain teams. So, having said that, I knew. Well, for me, they're overachieving. They're getting battered, bro. They're getting battered. How did they get top 3? It makes no sense to me. They've done the business, but I've got to pick them up. I've got to hold my hands up to them. I didn't think. I said they'll finish 4th. I said they'll still get Champions League, but they finish 4th. But to get 3 is a crazy season, bro. And one other thing. West Ham, Everton, Leicester were all in the ranks to be top 4, and they all fucked it up, bro. And that's all their fault. And that might be a big reason why Liverpool got in there.
Yeah, fair point.
Well, I think it's definitely a reason why Liverpool got in there, because those guys capitulated in the last minute. Leicester, the biggest bottle jobs, they're taking a leaf out of Tottenham's books. But kudos to Liverpool, man. I writ them off a long time ago. And I was like, yeah, they're back to Liverpool. They're back to the way they were. They're back to how it was. And you know what? They shut me up. Well done to them, man, because everyone's saying, Trent had a really bad season and this and that. But at the same time, he still created 51 chances this season. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Which is big for a right back. I think it might be the most from any right back that there is, actually. Who else may have got close to him? I think
Robinson.
Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw got 53, I think it is. But like Yeah, like
Wan-Bissaka. I thought you were going to say Wan-Bissaka.
no, Wan-Bissaka done really good tackles wise. I think he
Yeah,
might have
tackles.
got
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
I think he might have got the second highest tackles there was this
Oh,
season.
second. Wow.
I think second to Luke Ayling for Leeds. I think he got the most tackles
Oh,
this
Luke
season.
Ayling. Okay.
Yeah, I think he done. I think he done more. I think he got something like 80 tackles or something like that, and Basaka got 77. So some really good stats coming out there. But this is about Liverpool. Trent really has, even though he had an off season, 51 chances created. That's really good from that position. Do you know what I mean? You still got Salah banging in 22 goals. Yeah, he didn't really do this assist game this year. He got only something like 5 assists or something like that. Mane, to me, he had one of the worst seasons that I've seen him play. I think he was struggling with like 11 goals and 7 assists, something like that this season. But
11 goals.
to pull it out the bag, do you know what I mean? And to show that you are a real contender in the Premier League, and you're not no joke boy club like Tottenham, and you don't just up there for no reason and disappear the next few. Do you know what I mean? Like, well done to Liverpool, man. They gritted their teeth. They knew what they had to do with like about 4 games left. They just knew what they had to do, and they did it. And so well done to Klopp. Do you know what I mean? To making sure that he's in and around the conversations of the Champions League. Yeah, and I think next season, with Van Dijk coming back, with Konate going over there as well, if they can get themselves another playmaker as well, I think they'll be in the business. Well done, Liverpool.
Yeah. And I think, as Rash beautifully said there, when we make a prediction wrong, which I think people forget that in football, you can be wrong. That's what it's about. You can't always be right. It's just about saying, hey, I got that wrong. And credit to the team that's done it. And credit to Liverpool in this case. They proved Judo right. They proved me and Rash wrong. They secured third place. Well done to Klopp. Well done to Trent. Well done to all of them. They picked up form at the end of the season. And obviously, big shout out to Alisson. I think his goal against West Brom was really the one that sealed it. So I'm happy for him with everything he's been through. And yeah, next season, as Rash said, when Van Dijk's back, Konate done over the line. The playmaker could be Jadon Sancho. Then, yeah, I think we could have a real title race between them and City already. And then whoever signs Harry Kane, then we could have a real, yeah.
Listen, that Alisson goal kind of it shows the actual fight that they had on. You know what I mean? 100%. In the last 4 games, that goal kind of was a representation of we can't give up. Do you know what I mean? Last minute of the game, your goalkeeper stepping up to bang in a goal with the type of things that he's had to go through this season as well. Yeah, well done, man. Good fight from Liverpool. It'll be good to see that sort of fight in other clubs, such as our club. But we've got some dead clubs, so it is what it is.
Okay, yeah, man, 100%. And as Chris Benson says, hope you're good, man. Saying Liverpool always finish strong, and yeah, and they have.
Man,
hope
like
you're good.
Benson.
I like Benson
in the place.
Hey, no, man, big up to you. And yeah, man, but listen, this has been the Monday. We've kind of tried to keep it more general again. I think it's going quite well, these general footy talk discussion. I think we have really good engagement from you all, which is good. Obviously, I think this week we're wrapping up the centre backs, but I think from next week we'll start tailoring the shows targeted towards the Euros. Start looking ahead to that. Also start looking ahead to the summer transfer window, obviously for Arsenal, etc. Doing some keeper sell and things like that. And also we'll do also RBT awards. So we'll award like a RBT Player of the Year, RBT Young Player of the Year, etc. And then I think what we'll also do is we're going to do our final team of the season. But what we're going to do is me, Jalil, and Rash will all do our own. And then when it comes to the show, put that up on the screen and find a way to combine it. Because it'll be interesting to see what each one of us as individuals think. And obviously Jeff as well. And whoever else is on. So yeah, man, some good content coming up for you all. Make sure to like and always, subscribe if you're new and share as well. 6 show fellas, appreciate that. Go subscribe to them too. And yeah, just some final words, Rash.
We all know what's going on in the Middle East. more specifically what's going on in Palestine. Yeah, there was a ceasefire, but the very next day, Al-Aqsa was attacked with smoke grenades and gunshots fired. Look, there's not a lot that we can do from this side. There's not a lot that we can do except for piling on the pressure to let people know that we're aware of what's going on. We are not standing from what's going on, and there's no bigger voice than the voice of the people. So as long as we keep it aware and spread the awareness to the people through our social medias, through our WhatsApp statuses, however we can, it piles on a lot of pressure on the governments to say, look, we can't be seen to not be doing anything about it. So just keep up the good fight, free Palestine, and just know that as a Muslim, Allah, He says that He won't change the state of the people until we change the state and conditions of ourselves. Yeah, so we know what that means. We have to be the example. We have to be the righteous. We have to be the ones who are praying, who are the leaders in charity, the ones who are leaders in good, the ones who are doing the good around the world. So let's just change our ways and let's see if we can make a change inward, outwardly. Free Palestine.
Yeah, beautifully said. And I think probably nothing more that Jilo and I can add to that. That's the perfect way to round it off. And we'll be back on Wednesday, people, for the selecting the 10 best centre backs of all time, which should be an interesting show for sure. But yeah, people, have a good Monday evening, and we'll see you all on Wednesday. Peace and love from us. Peace.
Salam.